Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a show that happens twice a week where two old guys play a really, really old game.
Yeah, it's the first one I think that we played that came out before I was born.
Mm-hmm. Like far before we were born. I think everyone who's on the show, who's ever been on the guest host, predates any guest host, any everyone.
And it's like, even like Pac-Man. We talked about Pac-Man. That came out when I was born. So this is it. This is the oldest game we've talked about.
So we're talking about our Ready Player One series, and now our next installment is Adventure for the Atari 2600.
Mm-hmm. Ready Player One being the book by Ernest Cline, which is really good.
Really good. We took a break from it for a while because we were busy and had to do other things, but now we're back.
Yeah, we're back to it.
With renewed focus.
I mean, I would say that. We're back. Let's just leave it at that.
We have completely come back to the show.
Hey, we haven't missed a Monday or
That's
Wednesday.
true. You're damn right.
That is fucking extraordinary.
We might throw you out some shit, but we have not missed a day.
It's all about quantity here at TADPOG. We're the McDonald's of podcasting.
Man, that would be amazing for the McDonald's of podcasting.
We're the unknown McDonald's. So we're like the Dairy Queen of podcasting.
There you go.
You know, McDonald's, they've got all their money and all their billions of burgers served. We've got Dennis the Menace cups. Remember those?
We're the Dairy Queen that doesn't do ice cream.
Yeah.
Just serves hot food and doesn't have a drive-through. We're that Dairy Queen.
Oh, and also the one that like incessantly talks about buttholes while you're trying to order a cheeseburger.
Like I said, we're going to be talking about adventure. But first, I'm your bearded host, Tyler. And I was racking my brain I want to tell another Gatsby-related story. So I've got one. And I remember it was my freshman year of high school. Pretty Gatsby had just started dating a new guy.
Esper Gatsby?
Pretty Esper Gatsby. And like this, he was a lot different from like other guys she dated. Like I was friends with, it was the three of them, me, and sometimes Josh Nance of Uniracers fame, another male friend. And it was usually like the six of us would, hang out and do stuff. And then when we get a boyfriend, then we'd all be friends. It was usually all kosher. But this guy came in and we were all like outdoorsy type, like very, very different. Like I didn't really have anything to talk to him about for the most part.
Right. Because he was like a typical boy.
Yeah. I mean, he was a guy.
He was not like us.
He's not like he wasn't a man child. So.
I mean, his dad told him to go pick up sticks. He was on it like that.
He's like, I'd love to go outside.
Yeah.
I don't want to be inside the house. That sounds horrible. But I remember it was me and Josh Nance of Uniracers fame, and this guy had come up behind us.
Let's call him. We got to call him something just for reference.
Okay, for what? Well, let me name him in a little bit.
Okay.
Let me name him in a little bit. So I have something I want to name him.
That's the punchline.
I see. First. So, but I remember we were at school doing something, and I think I was like trying to open like this bottle, like a Snapple or something like that, and it wouldn't go.
You wanted to see the message, and
I needed to know the facts.
You couldn't move on with your life.
And Josh and I were sitting there, and I was trying to open it. I couldn't get it to go. So I thought only Josh could hear me, and I went, Kaioken times 5, which is a Dragon Ball Z reference to a move or a fighting style that Goku learns from King Kai that he increases his strength. So I say that.
I don't understand why you just wanted Josh to hear that.
Well, I gotta say that, and then I open the Snapple bottle. He's, the new boyfriend is behind me, and he comes up and he's like, "What did you say?" And I kind of just look at Josh and I pause. I was like, "Oh, nothing. Just talking about Snapple." He's like, "Man, hey, seriously, that technique is dangerous. You could overload your body with unnecessary energy and hurt yourself if you're going to use the Kaioken. And like him and I looked at each other, and then we were friends because he was, unbeknownst, he was very, very much into Dragon Ball Z.
Do I know this person?
No, you don't.
Okay. I thought this might have been a former guest host.
No.
Because you said outdoorsy in Dragon Ball Z. So like I immediately was like, oh, this is how you met McElwain.
But because then on we had something to talk about, and like he would always bring me cassette tapes or VHS tapes because he had I hadn't seen any of the Dragon Ball Z movies yet, and he taped them all, you know, on VHS. And he brought them to me, and we talk about the show, and we even had like we had a high five where normally, you know what the wolf pack is, you would do that, you know.
I don't know what the wolf pack is.
That's the wolf pack where you do that.
You make your hand like a wolf.
Look like a wolf, and the other person does a wolf, and you touch like they're kissing.
Kiss.
Like they're kissing. It's a wolf pack. But we would do that, but we'd have to extend it and pretend it was the dragon, and then we would. That was our cool handshake. It was our cool friend handshake.
Well, it was a handshake.
Yeah. But so we'll call him, because he is now completely unimportant to the whole spiel of lives. We'll just call him Krillin. That was Krillin.
Krillin.
But that leads me later on to, we were all going over to Pretty Gatsby's house. She wanted to have a big movie night and have everybody over and stuff like that. So Krillin's parents like picked me up, and then we went over to Pretty Gatsby's house, where like Brandy Gatsby, Good Time Gatsby's boyfriend was there, which
with finger blast in action, or is this a different one?
This is a different one. This is the end all be all of Good Time Gatsby boyfriends.
How do you mean?
This guy was a fucking mess. Oh my God. See, now I have to tell a tangent about this guy. What this guy is kind of known for is like he was a huge hothead, like crazy jealous. I mean, she's Good Time Gatsby. Everybody likes Good Time Gatsby, flirts with Good Time Gatsby.
Yeah.
This guy is just like insanely jealous and possessive.
Not a good mix.
To a dangerous level. So they went out for a few years.
That's like Venom and the symbiote.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember they would break up and get back together and stuff all the time. But during one of these breakups, they had broken up. They were at the high school. He played football. He was at one end of the sidewalk, like 2 blocks. Let's say about that distance.
Weird game
from
of
the
football.
school to the end of the parking lot, like 2 block sidewalk, distance.
Okay.
He sees his now ex-girlfriend, Good Time Gatsby, talking to another football player. Talking to like I don't know if he was the quarterback, but he was like someone who was more popular and better looking than this guy.
Okay.
So he sees his ex-girlfriend, Good Time Gatsby, talking to this guy. But this guy has his back turned to the sidewalk. So then what jealous boyfriend does is take off at a full sprint.
Right.
Down the entire 2 blocks and fucking cold cocks this guy in the back of the head for talking to his ex-girlfriend.
Murdered him. That guy died. He was in the newspapers.
He did give him a concussion because he just full on, bam, knocks him out. He falls to the ground. Good Time Gatsby just like, what are you doing? And then crazy boyfriend starts crying and then is kind of hulked out, walking around the parking lot like, I love you, Good Time Gatsby, I love you.
I hope that's really literally what he was saying.
That is
verbatim, calling her Good Time Gatsby.
Good Time Gatsby.
I'm reading the future.
but that's their entire relationship in a nutshell. That kind of thing over and
Pretty
over
good.
and
Sounds
over
pretty
again.
good. They're married now.
But we're all over at Pretty Gatsby's house.
Okay.
We're watching movies, and we get bored with that pretty quickly. So Krill and I start talking Dragon Ball Z, and we bring up something about we want to look up. We're talking about like power levels, and I was like, I found this site on the internet that has like all their power levels ranked and stuff like that. He's like, that sounds awesome. Let's check that out. So in the living room, that was where the Gatsbys had their home computer.
Okay.
All 3 of the Gatsby girls had been over there all day long, like from school, went over there, and they'd been there all day. We didn't get there till like 6. So I go over, pull up Internet Explorer on their computer, and I'm just like, I had very recently learned how to check search history.
Oh, that's super important. So that means you just had very recently started browsing porn
responsibly
at your house.
Like Josh's dad had forced us to learn how to do this in order to cover our tracks.
Okay.
Because we had been busted several times at Josh's house.
That was a really cool thing for Josh's dad to do. It really was.
Well, he didn't show us. We just had to figure out how to do it.
Oh, okay.
He knew how to do it, check the history, and would always
Gotcha.
call us on it. We didn't know how to get rid of it.
So
It was trial and error until we figured out how to do it.
So he was the obstacle that you had to overcome.
He trained us and made us stronger.
Right.
So like, I'm on there. It's like, well, they've been here all day. I wonder what they've been looking at while before we got here. So I pull it up, and granted, even still, they're not the savviest computer users, the Gatsby girls. So especially back then, like where they really didn't know how to use the internet, like at all. So I pull up their search history, www.dicks.com,
Okay.
sex.com, dicksandpussies.com. Like, not like at that point, like a Yahoo search, nothing. Like,
Right.
just put in like boobs.com, balls.com, sexystuff.com. So until I can remember, I called them on it. Oh man, the shame spiraled on Pretty Gatsby's face.
Really?
We were not going to look on the computer anymore after that.
So there was like no question who was searching boobs.com.
Oh yeah. It was, and you'd think it'd be Good Time Gatsby. No, I'm pretty sure it's Pretty Gatsby.
It sounds like it. Did you like ask a lot of questions like, so who's the feature on dicks.com? And really, boobs.com? You're into that? That's interesting.
I mean, you gotta find it. Brandy Gatsby was the only one who was relatively unashamed. She's like, you look at it, don't you? Like, well, yeah. She's like, I just want to see it too. It's like, okay, well, that's fair. At least you're owning up to it, Brandy Gatsby.
You get a pass.
Yeah.
What's up, Internet? I'm Dave. I'm your bespectacled host and future negligent parent. That's a pretty good story, Tyler. I didn't have one prepared, clearly, because I'm obviously stalling. Halloween was yesterday. I mean, not yesterday. I mean, in our world, it was yesterday.
Yeah, in the current timeline.
In our timeline, it was yesterday. When this comes out, Halloween was not yesterday. That was one of my favorite holidays as a kid.
Yeah.
Favorite. I loved it more than Christmas. It was...
See, I still don't, I'm not like that. It's hard for me to grasp that.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Just...
Because I like getting all the shit for Christmas.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like getting all the shit for Christmas, too.
I'm kind of a brat, so I like all the presents for Christmas.
I mean, Christmas, I like getting... I mean, don't get me wrong. Christmas was like number 2, for sure, because I like getting presents, too. But Halloween was always like, I don't know, anything involving like ghosts and scary stories and dressing up like a demon or a ghost or...
Oh, so you got to have a fun Halloween.
Yeah.
I had to go to church every Halloween.
Oh, now I see why you did not like Halloween.
Yeah.
No, I did not have to go to church on Halloween. Yeah, I did all the fun shit. And then I found out at some point that, and I started resenting Christmas because it was like, they used to tell ghost stories and shit on Christmas. And I remember like going to my mom when I was like 9 years old and being like, hey, you know, they used to tell ghost stories on Christmas. And she was like, that's nice. Christmas is like her favorite holiday. Like, loves Christmas. And I was like, you know what? It'd be pretty cool if we told ghost stories on Christmas. She's like, no, absolutely not. I was like, come on, it's ghost stories. She used to make me...
We can tell Holy Ghost stories.
Yeah, we definitely... Yeah. Oh, boy. She used to make me... I say make me. I enjoyed it when I was like maybe 7, like putting ornaments on the trees and like lights and popcorn strings and stuff like that. And then like I remember when I was probably about 9 years old, just hated doing that because my mom was like a micromanager. She was all like very particular about, okay, well the stocking ornament needs to go on third branch from the right, 10 inches from the bottom. Okay, I put it. No, not there. Okay, no, not there. Not there. I remember throwing ornaments down, being like, "Fuck this! I'm done with Christmas." I mean, I'm still gonna get presents, right?
Do you like putting up the tree now?
Fuck no, I hate it.
I hate it too.
I hate it, and it's like I
tell Meg if like she wants a Christmas tree, that is 100% on her.
Yeah, and you don't feel guilty about that?
No,
because I
don't. It just seems like it's a lot of effort. I just don't care about Christmas tree at all.
Effort. And we've got an artificial tree. When I was growing up, we had real trees, and they are definitely 1,000 times better. Real trees are better than artificial trees. Artificial trees are just better. I just contradicted myself. Artificial trees are easier. That's the only reason that artificial trees, like that's the only category that artificial trees are better. It's just you can take it out of a shitty box and put it on a stand and be like, all right, we're done.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas. It's officially Christmas. I don't know.
I've never had a real Christmas tree ever.
Really?
It's always been artificial.
Because it's pagan?
Yeah.
Yeah, pagan tradition.
So my parents were like, this is the one day a year where we're just going to say, fuck it, paganism. You want to talk about adventure?
I guess that's why we're here, right?
You hear that, Dave?
Sounds like a truck downshifting on the interstate, actually.
I was tempted to sing the Dragon Ball Z theme song.
Oh, no. I didn't hear that.
The
Maybe
cool one.
The cool one?
Yeah, because I remember I loved it as a kid, that dragon, rock the dragon ball.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I probably never watched a full episode of Dragon Ball Z. I definitely never caught the intro. I didn't realize there was more than one intro. I think you should sing it.
I just did.
No.
I just did.
No.
It's pretty.
No.
If I tried to do it again, it'd be the exact same thing.
You kind of whispered it. Yeah, I guess I hear that. Sure, why not?
Sure. Okay. Let's move things along. You always say yes. It's a classic rule of improv.
Yes, I hear that. And I guess I'll just do
No, I have a gun.
Yes, I do hear that. That of course is classic ushering in of Dave reads from Wikipedia. Okay, guys. Adventure is a 1979 video game for the Atari 2600 video game console. In the game, the player controls a square avatar whose quest is to hunt an open world environment for a hidden magical chalice, returning it to the Yellow Castle. The game world is also populated by roaming enemies, dragons, which can eat the avatar, and a bat, which randomly steals and hides items around the game world. It was conceived as a graphical... No, that doesn't seem like it's written very well. Adventure was conceived as a graphical version of the 1977 text adventure Colossal Cave Adventure. It took developer Warren Robinette, that name sounds familiar, approximately 1 year to design and code the game, during which time he had to overcome a variety of technical limitations in the hardware. He did something. That guy did something.
Yes, he did.
This was the first action adventure game released. Adventure sold more than 1 million copies and essentially created the genre. It spawned a handful of official and unofficial sequels and has been included in numerous Atari 2600 collections.
So we should probably say why this game is important, because it's very important.
Sounds pretty important.
And I didn't even realize I had never heard of Adventure before.
Ready Player One?
Before Ready Player One.
Yeah, me neither.
And
sounds pretty generic.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pass game.
But I
it's like,
guess,
hey man, you want to play Adventure? Does this involve me taking my dick out? I don't know.
But I guess back then, whenever you're the first, you can just call your game Adventure and it's okay.
Well, I guess it's kind of like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Like when they were developing that, like some guy walked up and was like, hey, what do you guys call this? I don't know. There's Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, cool.
That's pretty good.
Or they said nerds and kicked the table over.
But this game, because it sort of spurs a lot of things in Ready Player One. Ready Player One is kind of built upon a lot of things in Adventure.
Well, mainly the big premise being
the Easter egg.
And this was the one of the first known Easter eggs in video games is in Adventure. It has to do with Warren Robinette.
Man, I'm still like, it baffles me as to, like, he had to do this for any recognition. Because, well, apparently back then, Atari was, I guess video games weren't big, so there was no, like, it was still being fleshed out, so maybe, like, only the big corporations absolutely just had their drones, I guess, working on stuff, so.
I know that I think it was an issue of they didn't want their programmers or game designers to feel important.
Ugh.
Because they didn't want they wanted them to work for Atari, right? Yeah. I mean, Atari wanted to keep them and pay them a wage, as opposed to them being like, one of the developers being like, hey, I've made 5 top-selling hits. And that's, I think David Crane, a boy in his blob, was like one of the first people to be like, hey, I'd make really good games. Like the games that I've done have like sold the best. Kind of deal.
Yeah.
So like Atari, from what I understand, didn't want their developers to leave and like go start better things
or ask for more money
more money. Yeah. So allegedly,
just sit in the Atari stronghold basement and make our games for us to sell. So in order to first anyone before, because it's before internet, before like I guess fan magazines, anything. So the only way for Warren Robinett to get known was to insert his name into his game.
He had to hide it.
Yeah.
Which he did very well.
Yeah, I don't
know how
Man.
anyone found out how to find this little hidden area of the game. Like we watched a YouTube video on it. I watched the video and I don't think that I could replicate it in the game because it's like you have to go to an area in the game that has a gray floor, right? And there's a 1x1 pixel key that is gray.
And this is also, it's sort of like the fog of war kind of thing because you can only see so many pixels outside of your character.
Right.
So the whole thing is just one giant maze. So in these certain sections where it's all dark and it's almost as if your character has a lantern trying to navigate. So you can't tell where you're going, where you've been, anything until gray floor, gray pixel.
I didn't even see like the guy doing the instruction video, which I guess we can probably put in the show notes. Was like, oh, here's the key, and I was like, where? I don't fucking see the key. It's a one pixel key that you pick up off this gray floor. I still don't know how he saw it. I still can't see it. And then you take it to a completely arbitrary part of the game.
It's like one of the first screens that. It's like you start in the yellow castle, you go down one screen, but there are these
walls that are
artificial, just lines of color that block you off.
Yeah.
So that gray key lets you go past one of them, go past the barrier on the
right
eastern side. Yeah. And then once you pass through that, then you see in this huge colored font created by Warren Robinett.
I wouldn't even call it a font. I think he just kind of drew it. It looks like when you're like trying to write your name in paint. Because I remember thinking, I was like, the font technology was definitely not there when he made this Easter egg. Because it's like, honestly, if I would have known that it was Warren Robinett, like it would have taken me a while to be like, created by Watton Rob.
What? A wanton robber? No.
I'm going to need the fucking Rosetta Stone.
But I guess this started the whole just developers having fun inside their own games.
It sounds like he needed to have fun.
Yeah.
Based on the development time.
Ooh, it makes me not feel bad about E.T. just destroying Atari if this is how they treated their workers.
You felt bad about that?
Well, I was like, that's sad that, this one game just like destroyed a video game company. But now it's like, this video game company sounds like it's pretty shitty to begin with.
Yeah. Did you have an Atari as a kid?
My parents did.
Yeah.
I remember, before my brother was born, playing it with them. And, I didn't understand. Man, I did not understand how it worked because, they really enjoyed playing, Atari.
Do you remember what games they liked?
I remember playing, Space Invaders. I remember trying to play Superman for the Atari. And,
I never played that.
I don't understand it, at all because, it would just be, blue sky and you'd be Clark Kent pixel just walking across, and it would just be you're just walking from left to right until you find a phone booth, and you go inside it, and you can press the button.
Yes,
you turn into Superman.
Okay, right, that makes sense.
And then you can fly.
So far we're canon.
And you fly to another phone booth where you land, get back in, press the button, change back into Clark Kent, walk to the next phone booth, and that's all I could figure out about the game was just going phone booth to phone booth, swapping identities.
Was there more to it than that?
I don't think so.
We need to write the game facts on Superman for the Atari. Still better than the N64 version.
Yep. I guess even then people were like, we can't really put enemies for Superman. He's just going to crush him. What can we do? You know what he could do? Just go and find different phone booths around the world.
No, what we should do, present several moral quandaries for Superman to solve.
Man, I did like the old Superman, the black and white show on Nick at Night
shit,
when I was young. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Have you been to the Superman Museum just across the river here?
I have not.
You should go. They've got a lot of stuff from the old black and white show. I think they've got Clark Kent's glasses and a whole bunch of pieces of the set from Superman and the Mole Men and shit like that. It's really cool.
Because what is it I remember? The episode I remember the best was Superman fighting these villains that had these huge lead masks, so he couldn't look through to see their identity, and he didn't want to hurt them. He couldn't take, and they were fused to their head. So if he tried to take the mask off, it would kill them. So then he he couldn't just break it and see who they were.
Man, I bet their wives love that.
So it was just, I remember that was my first like glimpse into something remotely morally gray as a kid. So it just always sticks out to me.
That's super cool. That show was great. I think my favorite episode was, do you remember the one where some criminals had built like this fortress and they would commit a crime and they would go to this fortress and just wait out until the statutes of limitations ran out.
No, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I love it. I don't know if you can stream those anywhere. I wonder if they're on YouTube or something.
Well, if we can find them, they'll be in the show notes.
Because, man, I would straight up watch all of those again. And I think it like crossed over into color at some point, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
I remember there being like some kind of drama with the actor. Like,
Yeah, I think did
he kill himself?
I think he did. I know he died. I just can't remember if he killed himself or not. I think he did.
Yeah. I remember there being like an ass.
George Reeves, I think.
Is that it? Yeah. Somebody on Ask Science Fiction on Reddit and asked about, and they showed like the clip where Superman, they've got him, the villains are shooting at him and like bang, bang. He just stands there for all the bullets. But then the criminal throws the gun at him and he dodges.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, why would he dodge? Somebody within the canon explain to me why Superman would dodge.
Did anyone do it?
No.
Well, maybe he just wanted to show him that I could dodge a gun.
Because you get downvoted for breaking the fourth wall. So people were like, the actor had dodge the gun.
Right.
Downvote.
We all know why.
That's not why we're asking.
Come on. We all know why. Oh, I don't know. God. I love that. Adventure. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good. It's pretty good Superman talk.
Because when we first started to play this, I played it first, and I was like, what the fuck is this game?
It was bizarre. It was bizarre.
It's hard to go back this far.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you were good at it. You got into it a lot more than I did.
I liked it. I didn't like it at first.
Yeah.
Watching you play it, I was like, I don't think I'm going to like this game very much. Because it's like you're a square, and...
The controls are really good, though.
You think so?
Like, I'm kind of always impressed with Atari games, and like, it's smooth.
Yeah.
Like that square glide to other squares pretty smoothly.
Oh man, like silk. I didn't think I would like it. There's no, I mean, like in most Atari games, there's no music. Maybe like all Atari games, there's no music. There's just kind of sound effects. Everything's like super abstracted. And you start out at a yellow castle. Well, I guess technically that's not true. You start out at a big screen with like a pink border and gray square, and there's a number in it that says 1 in green. That's it. That's it. Doesn't say choose your difficulty or anything like that. It's just 1. You can choose your difficulty here. There's 3 difficulties. Difficulty 1, which is like a beginner mode. Difficulty.
You beat that in like 15 minutes, maybe?
That was amazing because it was like,
are we done?
We did that. Like, you just got to look at each other. Like, the screen flashes multicolored. And it's like, I guess we're it. I mean, that's it. We're done.
You got the flashy thing and took it back to this other thing, and now it's
now everything's flashing. It's like, why did we do this? The world was so much better before our quest. Now everything just strobes. Everyone has epilepsy. It's the worst. And then there's difficulty 2, which is normal. And then there's difficulty 3, which is hardcore mode. When your square dies in hardcore mode, it's dead forever.
Well, that mode being like, you probably can't finish this mode because there's a glitch.
It is possible that because the way that mode 3 works is it's just like the second difficulty, but instead of the items being where they normally are, they're randomized. So it's like, it is like completely within the realm of possibility that certain items will be moved in a way that you can't get them. So yeah, you're right.
Because the goal of the adventure is to take your square, to get keys to go into other castles, to go to like 3 other castles, and the last one has a chalice in it.
I think it's 2 others. There's a black castle and a white castle.
Yeah, because you get a yellow castle, black castle, white castle.
Right.
White castle has the chalice, and you take it back to yellow castle, and that's when you win the game. So
Black castle has a chalice.
Black castle has the chalice? Okay.
Super important detail.
Okay, so then the glitch being that like the castle key to get into the castle can actually spawn inside of the castle, meaning you cannot beat the game. You just have to start all over. If that happens at any point in those 3 castles, you gotta start all over. And there are dragons that are chasing you.
There are
three different
dragons.
colored dragons.
They kind of look like seahorses.
Yeah, whenever I looked at the previews for Adventure, I thought you were the dragon. I was like, But nope. I was very surprised to see, nope, you're the square.
Oh, damn it.
So that,
Square again.
I was like, that sort of looks like a man with a big belly. Nope.
I don't know why his
It's a
dick's on his head. Did you like this game?
Yeah, I mean, certainly see the value in it. So I did.
No. No.
It's really hard to go back, but I can see where it is a good game. And I enjoyed sitting, watching you play it. Me playing it, I wasn't as good as you are at it, so I got frustrated with it pretty quickly. But I liked it okay. And that's something good to say from a game made in like 1975 or whatever.
79.
79.
Yeah.
So
I had fun with it. I really did. When you were playing it, I was like, yeah, this looks like not so much fun. But when I started playing it, it became fun. And while I was playing it, I was like, this is pretty fun. But I couldn't put my finger on it why it was fun. And then eventually I learned because I'm learning something. It's one of those games where you learn it. It's because there's a map and there's a maze and you navigate that maze and all the pieces are hidden in the same location each time on the difficulty we were playing. So it was like, okay, memorizing. I got to get this first, so I have to go here, and then I have to take it here, and then I have to go here. And it's just like learning how you finish the game was the fun part.
and if you die, which a dragon can kill you,
Right.
you'll drop whatever item you were carrying where
Right
you die.
there. Mm-hmm.
So then there are other items to help you finish your quest, being like, is it a sword or a spear?
I think it's a sword.
Yeah.
What it really is a yellow arrow. That's what, because I remember when when you first were playing and I was watching, you get that sword or whatever it is pretty quick because it's like the yellow castle and then you head south and then there was a yellow arrow. And I think you and I both thought that it was
Telling
like
you
an
to go
arrow
that
pointing
way.
us to go left because we go up to the wall and it's like there's a wall there and you can't go through it. So I'm thinking like maybe there's a secret or something, like there's got to be a secret passage. And then you walk by and then the arrow just sticks to you. Because that's how you pick things up. Things just you just bump into something and now it's stuck to you. And that's how you carry things.
There's a magnet.
Yes,
So
there's a
because you
magnet.
can lose a key in a wall.
Yeah, if a dragon eats you while you're carrying a key, you can definitely drop drop the key inside the wall.
Which because I guess because all the objects are bigger than you are, bigger than your square.
Yeah.
And will extend into the walls, and you can't just glance by them. So then I guess maybe later on, Warren Robinette must have been like, oh fuck, I need to find something to fix this.
Yeah.
If you equip the magnet, then it will slowly draw objects out of the walls towards you.
Well, it was funny the way it worked out because I remember the first time it happened where one of us died and the key got lodged into the wall. We were like, well, fuck, now what? And then it was the next screen we found the magnet.
Yeah.
It was like, it's pretty good, Warren. It's pretty good.
Let's see. And then there's the bridge, which just looks like a huge pair of reverse brackets. It's enormous.
It's really big.
So when you equip it and it's like a quarter of the screen in size, it's really weird. And we didn't know what it was for a long time.
It's a weird item. It is a bridge, but it allows you to pretty much walk through walls.
Yeah.
It's not over water or anything like that. It's just it's kind of like a portable hole or something like that.
Yeah. Let's see. And then there's, of course, the chalice that you have to carry back.
Right. The techno chalice, because it is flashing,
It's flashing.
all colors.
I guess the various keys.
Yeah. Black key, white key, yellow key.
And you can kill the dragons.
Oh, yeah. You need the sword.
Because normally the sword, they'll flee from you if you have the
Right.
sword. But you can kill them and then their dead bodies just stay there. You can pick up and move around.
Yep. Oh, and if you die, they resurrect.
Oh, okay.
So your soul is the only thing keeping them dead.
There's the bat.
The bat.
That damn bat.
The bat is definitely on my list of top 10 annoying villains in video games. I hate the bat because it will fly around and move items on you. So if you drop an item, it will possibly, who knows? The bat's so fucking random. That's the other thing that's so frustrating about him is you don't know what the fuck he's going to do. If you drop... You can only carry one thing at a time, by the way, unless you've got the magnet and you're kind of cheating the game a little bit and using the right. But if I've got a key, right, and I see a dragon coming towards me, I run up to the sword and grab it, and then the key automatically drops. Invariably, what will happen is as soon as I do that, the bat will appear fly and take the key and just fly around with it for a little bit. And it's like there's no indication of like if the bat's coming back or where the bat's going. So it's like all of a sudden it's like, God damn it. It's like I spent all this time like getting to the key and then like now I have to find it again. And like there's no telling where this fucking bat took it. Like there's just no telling where he took it. So invariably like I'll go walking around and try to find this key that I need to get to the next castle, and then I'll see the fucking bat flying around with something else. Now he's got a dead dragon. He's flying around.
He picks up the dragon corpses.
It's like, where the fuck is the key? So the bat's a randomizer. He is like up there on my list of hated villains with the dog from Duck Hunt. Like maybe even more hated because at least the dog in Duck Hunt doesn't like bodyguard some of the ducks because this bat is essentially
if he were to grab your gun and like run off with it.
Yeah,
but the only way to stop the bat is to lock it in one of the castles. Is the only way you can get around with it.
Yeah. Thanks to that video that we watched, it taught me that because it was like, son of a bitch. That helped a lot once we figured that out.
Yeah, but really, I mean, even in this hardest incarnation, the game's once you kind of know what's going on, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, surprisingly so. Because when we first beat it on the beginner difficulty, we had like a 5-minute discussion where it was like, is this just how games were back then?
Yeah.
Like, were they just like super easy? Where it's like you sit down like and play a game, and that made me start thinking about it today. I was driving around returning a banana costume, and I was thinking, how did people used to play video games? Because it's like a game like this, I wouldn't think you could sit there for 8 hours and play. Like, you know, like I'm saying some people might have played World of Warcraft. Maybe not specifically me, but definitely me. Like if you sat down with this game for 8 hours, you'd have been done with it. You'd have been like, well, 4
hours ago.
Yeah. It's like, well, I beat it. And then like I beat it 4 more times.
On every difficulty.
Yes.
Despite having to reset it when the glitch happened, like, I still beat it.
And then I named the bat. I named all the dragons. I came up with an elaborate backstory for every dragon.
And this game also, like one of the first games that actually had an ending. So that flashing epilepsy we saw was actually the end.
I mean, it's an ending.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess technically
I guess most games are, you know, like Pong or Pitfall or something like that, to where it just
We were
keeps
talking
going.
about that the other day. Did you confirm that Pitfall?
I have not.
Because I just always assumed as a kid that Pitfall just kept on going.
I could be wrong. There could be a Pitfall kill screen out there somewhere.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't consider an ending.
Yeah.
That's just an inevitable
technical
conclusion.
limitation. Yeah. But overall, like, because it's so short, it's worth checking out today, I think. To seeing, kind of looking back at gaming roots, see where it came, or everything sort of started and spawned from.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely check it out. There's a browser version that I couldn't figure out the controls for, but hey, maybe you have better luck. Because I was at work when it was slow, and it was just like, I don't know, I guess I could try to find that black key, and found the browser version, and I couldn't figure out any of the controls. I was like, well, guess I'm going to work instead.
Look, I didn't know, you knew, and I didn't know that I have this game.
Yeah.
I have my brother, like, whenever he was moving, he was like, hey, you want these? I bought these up eBay. I don't have any place to put them. I was like, sure, I'll take them. And it's like, I have 11 Atari games up there. I just set them on a shelf because I don't have a 2600. So you were like, hey, you got that game. Do I really? I'll be damned, I do have Adventure. All right.
Yeah, and it reminded me of Steam libraries. As soon as you said that, you're like, I have Adventure? And I was like, man, this is sad. This is sad because like when a Humble Bundle goes up for sale, I'm looking through and I'm like, I think I have that game. I think I have that game. I definitely know I have that game. I don't have that game. Turns out I do.
Well, do you have any achievements for this game?
I do have some achievements for this game.
All right.
I've got my first achievement. It's called Circle Takes the Square. And in order to unlock Circle Takes the Square, you have to be eaten by every dragon color. I think there's like 4 of them. And I got another achievement. It's called Harold and Kumar Would Be Jealous. And in order to unlock Harold and Kumar Would Be Jealous, it's a story achievement. You have to find the White Castle. Find and unlock the White Castle. Do you have any?
Let's see. Yeah, I've got 2. Let's see. The Heads of Tiamat. And you unlock that by killing all the dragons. Have them all dead at the same time.
Nice. That's a good one. I like that.
Let's see. And how did you see that dot? Picking up and using the silver gray key to get the Easter egg.
How many dragons are there in Adventure? Because I know there's the green one. There's that weird orange one that was in one of the castles. There's a yellow one.
I think there's a black one.
Is there a black one? Because I was hoping there was 5. Because,
That would be nice.
Because then I was like, is that where they came up with the
official Tiamat?
Yeah, with the 5 dragon heads of Tiamat. That would be cool.
Get back to us, Gary Gygax.
Yeah, please come back from the grave.
Yes, Dave.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
it's been a podcast.
Yep.
It's been a weird one. It's been a rough one. This is like a season 1 Tadpog episode.
Talking about an Atari 2600 game's a little difficult.
Because the whole time we've
Let's
been
make an
recording
hour show out of a game that you could beat 4 times within that time.
It's been tough. It's been tough. But I've got a very important question for you. If you were to give this game a beard, what kind of beard do you think you would give it?
Well, see, for the first time ever, I have to combine both the beards and the glasses.
Oh, all right. Well, before you do that, can I ask you a very important question?
Yes.
Tyler, if you were to give this game a pair of glasses, what kind of glasses would you give it?
I would give this both the mustache and glasses of one James Naismith,
I'm unfamiliar.
the inventor of basketball.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. So since he invented something, brought something, was the first to bring something out, I thought it was only appropriate. James Naismith.
Okay, would you rather play adventure or basketball?
But I do like playing. I do like playing basketball. I do like.
Okay.
I'm bad at it,
Okay,
but I do like playing. I like playing basketball with Jacob of bullfighting fame,
so you're going.
which isn't always fair because he's much taller than I am.
Yeah.
But
But you've got spirit.
it makes him really happy when I play basketball with him.
So you're going basketball?
Yeah, I'm going basketball.
I'd go adventure.
Yeah.
I'd go adventure. I'm sorry. I would ask you how much this game is on Amazon, but I can't find it. So,
Okay.
so there you go. What you
I think
own-
Ryan paid $20 for that whole set of Atari games. So
and there's what?
$2.
Yeah, there's like 10 of them over there. Okay, $2.
That's fair. So I guess you take a moment, Mish, to wish Lord Matt Barger a happy birthday,
Happy birthday, Matt.
Halloween birthday.
You got the coveted Halloween birthday that I've been jealous of since I met you. So you win at birthdays, Matt.
And then Rygar and Pac-Man fame, Jason Eisen had a baby yesterday.
Awesome. Congratulations.
So he had a baby girl.
Is this his first?
His first, yes.
Well, we need to have a baby party.
Yep. And since, I guess, the Tadpog, we can claim this as a Tadpog baby because he was on before the baby was born. So another Tadpog baby.
I don't like that though, because I want my baby to be at least the second tadpog baby.
Well, I was about to say, because Lord Dennis Robinson had the first Tadpog baby.
Yeah, you're
Then
right.
Kenna came along.
Okay, so you've got. I'm gonna have the fourth tadpog baby. That's the worst. That's the best. It's the best numbered baby.
Oh shit!
Some say it would be the best.
You want to do some calls?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Sure. We need something to
Let's
save this show.
let's have some fun.
Hey, sorry you listened to this episode.
Some Ready Player One games are just going to be a little flat than
This
others.
is bad. This is a bad one.
We talked about Superman.
The Superman was like the best part of the show. Let's just cut out everything else, the intro and everything, and just lead off with
153 Adventure, and it's just us talking about Superman.
for 15 minutes. No outro or anything. We'll just get a message from like one of the loyal listeners be like, I think you guys fucked up.
Yeah, no disclaimer, no moves, nothing. Just you know what I like? Superman, the old black and white show. And that's it.
Have you ever been to the museum across the river? No one knows what the fuck we're talking about. You got to go to that museum though, for serious.
Okay.
We'll go together. We'll make a Tadpog field trip. If Megalixer wants to come in, we'll go with them. Man, we got a lot of calls.
Sweet.
A lot of them.
I think we got plenty of time left too. So.
Do we? All right. First call.
Fucking Tadpog, FishLipsJay up in the hizzy, or your ears. Just calling because I was gonna call out one of my coworkers. He keeps saying he's gonna call, but he never does. So, well, I guess I shouldn't say that. He might have called me. You just haven't played any of the shit yet. But I'm gonna call him out. So, Cody, fuck you. What the fuck? Calling the Tadpog because I know you're listening, and I guarantee you're probably looking over at me. right fucking now as you're fucking listening to this, and you're shaking your head with that stupid grimace on your face. So fucking call into TADPOG at some point in your life. Yeah.
What's up, FishLipsJay of Mananpog fame?
It's okay, Cody. Leave us a 5-star review, and it's
All is absolved.
You don't have to call in. It's fine.
We're like the Catholic Church 600 years ago. Yeah, call in, man. I think you probably did, considering that this call was made by FishLipsJay on October 2nd. That's how far back we are.
Man.
Well, yeah, Cody, give us a call. And FishLipsJay, sorry we played your call on this worst episode of TADPOG. I can't even talk. Thanks for leaving the call on the phone thing. Appreciate it. I didn't think I was hungover today, but maybe the whole day has just been a big hangover. God. We got a text here from 763 who says, which has got to be FishLipsJay because it leads off with fucking TADPOG. Let's see. Fucking TADPOG, : Thank you. Do Super Mario Land 2 with John Turley of Every Fucking Wednesday fame. I love that idea.
That's a good idea.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Because that is a good-ass game.
Yeah, it is.
Is that the first appearance of Wario?
It may be.
I think it might be. I'm not positive.
We'll figure that out on the game.
Yeah.
Whenever we do that episode, we'll come back
Spoilers.
with information.
Here is a text from 615. A good strip club has to have a compelling theme, : Otherwise, you're just jerking off in a warehouse. Of the strip clubs you've been to.
You're not presenting a negative there, text there. I'm fine with jerking off in a warehouse.
I want to go to a strip club with this guy because apparently he jerks it at strip clubs. Which I've never done. Have you ever done that, Tyler?
No.
You've jerked off at work, but
I've jerked off at work, but not in a strip club.
not at your current job.
I know one of our friends has got a lap dance, then went to the bathroom, rubbed one out, and came back. I mean, I guess that's an all right thing to do if you're okay with the attendant sitting there.
There was an attendant sitting there?
I mean, I think I've been to a strip club where there's not a bathroom attendant that you also have to tip.
I have never been to a strip club bathroom. What does the strip club bathroom attendant look like? Is it typically a male or female?
It's a male.
You couldn't pay a girl enough money to go sit in the strip club bathroom.
In a tux, without the jacket. So it's just a vest, white shirt, tip jar, colognes, and they'll dry your hands for you and just all right.
What do you think that workplace training is like? They just sit you down on the stool all right, your job is to make sure that no one jerks off on the mirrors in here.
I remember the last time I was in a strip club bathroom, I went in, I was using the bathroom, and the attendant's sitting there just silent, waiting for, that's a rough job. And somebody else comes in just to talk to the attendant. I guess doesn't know I'm in the bathroom. I'm using the bathroom, and somebody walks in. He's like, "Man, you like this job?" And the guy doesn't. I don't hear anything. I assume he shrugs or something. I was like, "Man,
What do you think?"
you see a lot of gringos come in here. I don't hear the guy say anything. It's like, man, there's nothing darker than the heart of a gringo. And I'm just in the bathroom I'm done. But I'm not going to walk out there.
There's no fucking way you're leaving right now.
I don't know what this guy looks like. I just know I'm a gringo and he must not like me and my dark heart.
Guarantee you he was a big fat white guy. The other thing about the bathroom attendant job, that's going to suck is right outside that door is just naked women.
And you have to be in here where there are people with boners are coming in there to shit. So
they never let you open the door, then peek out. They don't want that shit stank wafting out. What's the deal with? I know I'm not the only one. We've had conversations about this. Why are the workers at a strip club who are clothed always more attractive than the strip?
It's got to be that grass is always greener on the
Right?
other side. Just because you're not supposed to.
And yeah, you're not supposed to ask the waitress for a lap dance.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could.
Well, I've seen last time I was at the one here in Paducah. Mm-hmm. We were with McElwain of maybe an X2 fame, and I just asked the waitress, so I can get a lap dance? Okay. And it turns out she just decided to be a server that night. She was actually a stripper
Oh, really?
there. So she just went back there and took off her uniform and gave him a lap dance for the normal going fee.
I gotta say, that's pretty good. I like that. I like that. Do you think that's how they normally do it?
No.
Is it normally like when the strippers are off, they have the option to come in and serve drinks?
Yeah, I get maybe she just like somebody called in. She was like, "Well, I guess I can just serve drinks tonight. That's fine."
But
it's pretty cold outside, so it's fine.
I'm definitely not sitting in the shitter though. So 615 asks, of the strip clubs you've been to, which had the most consistent theme? I guess Naked Chicks has been the big theme.
Or Club Erotica, just like heartbreak and depression, shattered dreams, maybe. I've never really been to one where there was like a big current like theme.
No, I haven't either.
Kentucky, Tennessee strip clubs aren't like.
Yeah, it's just kind of where you go to see naked people.
Yeah.
It's like a nude beach. We don't have any beaches, so that's our version of a nude beach. Got a text message from 801 who says, "Newsflash, Google Voice will support MMS. You guys are going to get some weird shit from weird people." So what that means is, for the longest time, Google Voice didn't support like photos. You couldn't send photos or anything like that because Archivist Corn tried to send some photos of the new Game Galaxy. Well, I guess it's not really new anymore, but the most recently opened Game Galaxy, and we didn't get them. But you can send them now. So if you have any weird photographs to send, go ahead and send them to...
Go ahead and open that Pandora's box. Let's just see what's...
I mean, it's not going to be any good for the show because it's not like we're going to be able to show them. I mean, maybe we can put them in the show notes.
Yeah.
Show notes material.
If they're so severe, we have to like,
let's not
show notes.
Let's not use the word
Let's
severe.
Encourage people.
We got off on the wrong foot. We got off on the wrong foot. If you want to send us some things that are going to, I don't know, compel us to keep doing the show. If you want to send us like photographs of money,
that's fine.
Do that.
We can do that.
If you want to like have like your fanned out $8-10 bills with your shades on and your blunt, then that's cool. Send us that. You can send them to 270-883-2555. Also, if you want to send a text that doesn't have photos attached, that's okay too. If you want to send us, I mean, no one's going to send us photos of their dick. Because we specifically asked for that when Nicole was on, and we never
maybe
got
not their dick, but we'll probably just get pictures of
okay,
dicks.
look, if you just send a picture of some other guy's dick, that's not a cool move. That's the equivalent of like when I was 14 and I was chatting to a quote unquote random girl on the internet. I was like, send me your photograph. And they'd send me a photograph and I'd reply, that's Brianna Banks. Goodbye. We got time for more?
Cut to actual Brianna Banks. Like, very disheartening.
No one talks to me. They just want to fuck my mouth. This mouth was made for talking.
No one wants to talk at it. They're trying to stuff their cock in it.
Fuck it. Let's do some more.
Yeah.
Hey, Tyler and Dave. It's Tony. I got a question for you guys. If there were a summoning ritual to summon you, what would that ritual consist of? All right, guys. I'll be listening. Keep up the good work.
That's a good question. That maybe requires some preparation.
Sandwiches.
Okay.
An alchemical symbol, like from Full Metal Alchemist,
You
made
have to
entirely
draw.
of sandwiches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you don't draw the circle out.
No, you just lay
compose it of
sandwiches
sandwiches. Okay.
There's probably some kind of full-figured porn star at each cardinal direction end.
Okay. Is there maybe a Liu Shang's fishing rod involved?
Yeah, there is. There's some sort of form of video game fishing. So you have to pour cider in between all the sandwiches. I don't like beer. I like cider.
That's your new thing. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that you're really into cider now. That's how I got started too, kind of.
Yeah.
I remember at work when I was probably 16, and I'm not going to mention their name, gave me a beer, and I drank it. They're like, here, man, have a beer. I was like, I've never had a beer before. And he's like, oh, then you definitely need to take it. Okay. And I cracked it open and it, like took a sip, and I was like, this is awful.
Oh, yeah.
This is awful.
Oh, man.
So then cider is what I started on. And then I got into beer.
Okay.
So you're going to get into beer, Tyler. Cider's the gateway drink.
I still can't do it.
Oh, you're going to do it.
Oh, man.
Okay, so cider in between the sandwiches.
And
full-figured porn star.
Uh-huh. And then there's got to be, I guess, some BioShock theme playing in the background.
Okay.
That might summon me.
Okay. I guess what you need is you need a summoning circle, of course. Yours is made out of sandwiches. Mine is probably made out of a vector illustration. So you have to open up Adobe Illustrator and draw a summoning circle in that. And then you have to take it over to production and have them print it out and cut vinyl. And then you have to put it on, let's see what kind of floor. I'd say church basement floor, but that's totally your territory. So we'll just say you have to put it in
A garage.
The garage, exactly. you have to put it in a garage. I'd say about 45 minutes after two teenagers fumbled around and may or may not have finger blasted one or the other. So like it's got to have that right kind of atmosphere. And so you apply it to the ground, and then you have to recite the entire Pulp Fiction script backwards. While you have to have also amateur porn has to be playing the entire time.
Okay.
The entire time on 6 different iPads. And someone has to feel shame. Like that has to happen. Like maybe the one in the middle of the summoning circle feels shame, and then I just kind of take over their body.
It's pretty good.
That's how
pretty
you
good.
summon me.
Thank you, Tony. That was good.
That was a good question. I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, do it.
Just gonna keep on going.
Get to that Cody guy.
Yeah.
TADPOG, this is Michael with the Two Dudes and a Nance calling. I just had a weird experience. I've been listening to you guys for probably about a year, so 50 episodes, something like that. And I've always listened on my phone at like a 1.5 times speed. Well, for some reason on this last episode, I decided I guess I was sitting on my computer or something. I decided to listen on the computer. And at normal speed, you guys sound super drunk. I don't know. It's like I sit down and listen to a podcast by completely different people. I don't know how to think. I don't know how to feel about that. Anyway, just thought I'd share. Keep up the good work, guys. Bye.
I guess we can do one super drunk and just then you can compare.
You're not super drunk? I am super drunk right now. I totally get super drunk before we record. Every time. Every time. That's why I say
Get drunk, drive over here.
oh yeah, it's a ritual.
So that's, I don't know, a lot of people apparently do that. Listen to us on times and half speed.
Maybe we should talk faster.
So to just completely ruin it for anybody that tries to do that.
I think that maybe we should start talking a lot faster, and then like maybe putting our thoughts together before we say things instead of me who's always like and I was telling John Turley the other day that a lot of times when I talk, especially when I edit the show, is that because normally you edit the show, so now when I edit the show it's weird, and I start see there was an and I start thinking it's like John said something about our voice patterns, and I had said yeah it's really fucked up because now I realize that I say like 4 words and then I pause for 2 seconds and then I say 3 words and then I pause for 2 more seconds and then I finish my thought.
You always speak in syllabic haikus.
John was very polite and said that's not true, but I appreciate it, John. It is true, but you're very kind. Thanks for calling, Michael. I want to give Two Dudes and an S a shout out because I mentioned David Crane earlier. They've got a great episode where they interview David Crane. Yeah. It is honestly like one of my favorite podcast episodes ever because David Crane is such an interesting person and he's got like really insightful things to say about the industry, especially at that time. So maybe we can have a link to that in the show notes.
Yeah.
People check it out. It's totally worth it. Great listen. Got a text message from 313 that says, in response to your comment on Monday's call-in episode about ugly fat chicks with big tits, parentheses, sometimes you need an orifice to squirt water into. And to Tara, I was waiting for that laugh. I don't know. And to Tara, hey, winky face.
So I guess they meant Taryn.
Probably.
Okay.
Love the show, guys. And this is Massacre on iTunes.
Okay.
Thanks for the 5-star review, Massacre.
Yep.
It is Taryn, so feel free to leave us a voicemail for Taryn. I think that's your assignment.
She had mentioned that if we ever wanted to do like an auction to raise some funds for new equipment, that she would auction off a date.
Yeah.
She flies all over the country, so she can probably fly pretty close to wherever there's a listener. So,
We should kickstart that shit.
Yeah.
Also, the thing that comes out of your gooter is not water. It is not water. Cannot serve that at a restaurant. I've looked into it. Got a text message from 270. It starts out with "Okay, gentlemen," so I'm going to assume that it's from Exalted Lord Mike of Purdue. "Okay, gentlemen, it's been a while since I've had a free moment, but I've got a good would you rather for you. Semicolon. Yeah, semicolons. All right, I'm looking for colons. That's the second semicolon we've got. I'm looking for colons, but that's fine. That's fine. If we want to have a subsect,
We'll take a semicolon in a pinch.
yeah, a faction. We've got a faction of semicoloners. It's fine. Would you rather be able to control your dreams or be able to watch your dreams on video the next day?
Dream control.
That's I know that's your mutant power. That's what you want. You want dream control. And you said that earlier in an episode. You specifically mean your dream?
No, other people's.
All dreams.
All dreams.
Yours and other people's. Okay. Well, he says I would definitely say that I want to video mine. It drives me insane when I can't remember one. And I know you guys just recently discussed this. Well, probably when you sent this text we had. So maybe this question will allow you to go into more details on your reasoning. Keep up the good work and talk to you guys soon. So you definitely want to be able to control other people's dreams.
If I can control, I mean, if it's just my own, if I can control them, I'm going to remember them. Plus, there's just shit that you can do in your dreams. Like, if I could control my dreams, then I could probably actually finish a sex dream. Because the thing is, like, I will have a fairly decent amount of sex dreams.
Yeah.
I'd never actually get it in. I always something happens where, like, my dream will. Usually I don't even wake up. Like, I end up like just cock blocking myself in some way in a dream.
Well, that's the adultery protection that Meg had installed in you. I mean, it's a hefty fee to have that installed. But remember when you went under?
Neuromancers are not cheap nowadays.
Remember when you went under for that surgery? Yeah.
Okay.
That was installation. Meg asked me beforehand if I thought it was okay, and I said I think not only is it okay, I think you definitely need to do that. I honestly, I mean, as much as I think lucid dreaming is like really cool, I think I would rather be able to watch my dreams, just because a lot of times I wake up and it's like, oh, that dream was awesome. I have that feeling, it's lingering, and it's like, but I have no idea what it was. Plus, sometimes I'll have a dream and it'll just come to me in the middle of the day. I'll be like, oh, I had that dream where I was Bugs Bunny and I chopped off, I don't know. Wow. Yeah, I'd like to watch the dreams.
That's a good would you rather, Lord Mike.
It was a good would you
Better
rather.
than would you rather be hot or cold. It's pretty good.
I'd rather.
You've come a long way since Blake chided you for weak would you rathers.
It's true. I'm about done, dude, because like that answer was weak. And if we got another question, I don't think I can do it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong. Here we go.
Fucking TADPOG, colon. I figured out why everybody loves the word using colons when they call it they text TADPOG. Because, colon is the actual name that doctors use for butthole. And there you go. At any rate, listen to the Y'all Callin' show. The song that I sang for you was not from the guy that sang Show Me Your Titties. That is somebody different. The guy that I was singing from is John LeJoie, and he sang Show Me Your Genitals, which is a much better song. So you could put that in the show notes. Show notes! And let's see, I know, Tyler thought I'd have a really good cum story, and I'm trying really hard to think of one right now. I have yet to get any cum on my phone, because, you obviously use your phone for pornography purposes. There's no other reason to have a smartphone.
Not listen to podcasts.
I got nothing. I'll come up with one and I'll call you later. Bye.
FishLipsJay, you need to invest in an iPad because it is like the best porn watching tool that you can have in your inventory next to maybe a box of Kleenex. Because it's pretty awesome to just be able to be like, things are kind of boring. I got my iPad. I'm just gonna jerk it.
Well, it's essential to the Tribute Me subreddit.
What's that? Oh, right. I'm vaguely familiar with this.
Girls submit a picture to Tribute Me, and guys then comment with the picture of the girl that was submitted covered in cum.
Yeah, and they usually jerk it on their iPads.
iPad is most, because you just wipe that down.
Kinda.
Does it cost it? You don't have to have the, like if you try to print out the picture, then you're out of ink and you got to go to Walmart. You got to find the certain, the certain number to put back in your printer.
Cashier's looking at you like, I know what you're going to do with this.
There's no other reason to buy printer ink nowadays.
I know what you're doing with this. I've never been on Tribute Me. You've shown me photographs before because I'm assuming it's because you had submitted.
I don't have an iPad.
Well, you got a printer. I saw it.
I got that adultery software. Can't do it.
That doesn't count.
Can't do it.
It doesn't count.
It's only dream-based.
It's dream-based.
It's not coming on pictures.
It's shit that you control in your mind. So it's like external forces is fine. It really doesn't work very well. You want to do more?
Yeah, let's do another one.
Okay. Come up with a good cum story and call us back. This is from 770. Okay, : we're drunk, but picture this. Ben Kenobi wearing Bono glasses, waving his hand in front of a stormtrooper saying, and you still haven't found the droids you're looking for. We've been drinking. Signed, Drew and Bailey. Do you get the joke, Tyler?
I do not.
Because you have not seen Star Wars. A line in Star Wars is where Obi-Wan says to stormtroopers, he waves his hand and says, these are not the droids you're looking for. You
Yeah,
probably.
that I'm familiar with.
Okay. And then Bono of U2 sings a song, and you still haven't found what you're looking for, right? Or I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Something like that.
Don't ask me.
Haven't found something. You're not a big U2 guy.
No.
I also am not. Although when they did the soundtrack for one of the Batman movies, I can't remember which one it was. Which one had the Riddler?
Batman Forever.
When Batman Forever came out, they did a track. U2 did a track for that movie that was unlike any other U2 song I'd heard, and I really liked it. And I was like, awesome, I'm going to buy this album. And I bought it, and that one track is on there, and then the rest of them just sounded like U2 songs. So, I don't know. I didn't like it. We got more.
Thank you, Drew and Bailey.
Thank you, Drew and Bailey.
Next time, call us when you're drunk.
Absolutely. You want to do another?
Yeah.
What's up, TADPOG? It is science correspondent Tony calling in with all of your answers to your Mega Man X question. So question number one was, do robots have gender? My professional opinion is that typically robots do have gender, but it's based upon the level of autonomy programmed into that robot. So the more autonomous it is, the more human traits need to be programmed into that robot in order for it to function on its own. And since most robotics engineers and software programmers are forever alone types of people, my guess is that robots tend to be female for obvious reasons. Question number two is psychoanalysis of the guest host based upon their favorite Mega Man X robot villains. My analysis is that as 30-plus-year-old men with favorite Mega Man X robot villains, you guys are nerds. That's my psychoanalysis. And the third question is, why are there so many robot spiders? I guess that would mean in video games or otherwise. And my answer there is because spiders are scary. So. And they're probably pretty easy to make robot spiders, would be my guess. So if you take a leg off of a robot spider, they're still going to be able to walk pretty well. Yeah. So that's the answers to your Mega Man X questions. Keep up the good work, guys, and I will be listening.
Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Tony. I've got another theory about the robot spiders. I've been thinking about this a long time since we recorded Mega Man X, and that is that robot spider silk is so expensive and so valued on the market that it's actually cheaper to build a robot spider that produces a robot spider silk than it is to purchase robot spider silk.
Okay.
So it's kind of like this little workaround.
That's fair.
So now, but the problem is when a robot spider runs out of robot spider silk, you just got them sitting around. So you tend to become a villain because you can't really do good things with robot spiders, and you have to do something with them. So that's kind of where villains come from.
Okay. It's good.
Got a text message from 580. Who says,
About time.
I know, right? He says, hey, betches, B-E-T-C-H-E-S. Betches? Is that how you'd say it?
All right. Betches.
Betches, : thank you. Sorry, but I don't think your 300 plus downloads per day is from the 5-star reviews. You finally have Earthbound in your search tags. You have really knocked the last several episodes out of the park, so I bet you've got a lot to stay. Exponential growth, double F. From here on, betches, sorry. From the top. Exponential growth from here on, betches. Also, please no Sega, which I heard someone pronounce as Sega the other day, and it really bothered me. Like the first time I heard someone say bagel.
I guess it's
instead
like
of bagel.
Mega, Sega.
Oh man, it really got under my skin. It was like just another reason to not own a Genesis. Sega Genesis, Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis.
He says a top 10 maybe, but come on. Put it up for a vote at least. Okay. He says, I love your whole piece. Well, thank you. No one's really ever said that to me before. They usually have been like, this is loose.
I've had better. I'll go home.
Tyler, you're so mean to me. All right. I think that's great. If someone wants
Not me.
that adultery software definitely doesn't work when it comes to dudes' buttholes.
Nope.
You're just a butthole ripping machine. You're like a fucking robot spider over there. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine to do like a top 10 Genesis games. I think what we've talked about the most has been like to do N64 games. Because we missed out on that.
Yeah, it'd be completely new.
So I think that's a possibility. I also think that there were a lot of really weird PlayStation 1 games. Like a lot of like just really weird ones that I think we could have a lot of fun with.
Parasite Eve for one.
Well, I mean like weird, like Parasite Eve is kind of mainstream. Like I mean like there's some weird like unknown PS1 titles that were kind of skeevy that I think we're going to have a good time with. Also, you said that the last few episodes have been great. Well, now you got this one to counterbalance all of that. So what I recommend...
I think it's all right.
I think it's pretty bad. I think it's pretty bad. I mean, they made that awesome like butthole ripping joke like 2 minutes ago, but other than that, it's been pretty awful.
Motherfucking TADPOG. Cody here.
Cody!
Message to that FishLipsJay guy for me. I just wanted to tell him to stop stealing my shit at work while I'm taking a shit. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. And speaking of shit, I haven't forgot about the sit-down versus stand-up wiping techniques. I personally stand up because I don't want my hand to go in the bowl and have a chance, even if it's a slight chance, of getting wet in the water. That's fucked up. And I'm going to leave you with that. Have a good one.
Thank you, Cody.
All right.
I am not convinced that you are not FishLipsJay.
Thank you.
Thank you for saying that. Like a character that FishLipsJay has constructed in his mind and like purchased another cell phone and called in. Because that opening line, I want to go right back to the beginning. Let's do that.
Yep.
Motherfucking TADPOG.
That is FishLipsJay.
Just like him. Man, is this like a Psycho kind of situation where like... FishLipsJay leaves his cubicle, takes something with him, comes back as Cody.
Back in a wig. Thanks for calling, Cody.
Quote unquote
Cody. Good to hear from you. Feel free to call back. I feel like we've really done the wiping technique. We talked about sitting versus standing. We talked about wiping technique. I was listening to another podcast earlier this week, and they talked about the phenomenon where you drop one in the bowl and you get that squirt of water that comes like straight up, right up your booty hole.
Yep.
They were talking about whether or not they like it. Some people liked it because it was like a refreshing kiss.
Man.
You had a visceral reaction to that.
What'd you say? Refreshing kiss. Because I hate that feeling so much. I will take an actual kiss to my butthole any day.
Well, it's the feeling that bothers you?
Man, I'm very familiar with the plunk and then the... Oh, man, I hate it.
Here's what I hate about it. Like, if it weren't like fucking poo and piss water, I'd probably be okay with it because it'd just be like, oh, wow, check that out.
Well, then it's a bidet, I guess. So.
And you know what? I would love to have a bidet because I hate wiping. I hate wiping. I just hate it. I just feel like it's a lot of work. And it's just like, God, this is abrasive as fuck. I always feel like when I'm doing it, I feel like a monkey at the zoo. I'm like, what am I doing with my life that I'm wiping my ass like manually with paper?
Like a peasant.
More like a monkey. I think it's something up with the monkey thing. I don't think it has anything to do with social class.
If you were rich enough, you could just pay somebody to do it. It's fine.
No, I think it's still like just the feel
It's a
of
men's room attendant in a strip club.
do you think if you pay one of the waitresses, they'll do it?
Depends if they're not stripping that.
Thank you so much for calling. And I'm glad that we could get your call in on the same episode that FishLipsJay bitched about you not calling in.
I think we have to end it there, though. I think we've come full circle with Cody.
I think you're right. That's a good stopping point.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find us on iTunes or Stitcher. So don't miss the next episode. We'll be talking about IGN's 10th ranked game, Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars.
Wow.
Top 10.
It's a big one.
And then Other Shit Monday, probably talking about Tempest. So another stellar Atari game for us to go through.
Yikes. I'll take a lot of drugs before we do it, so it'll actually be entertaining.
Man, I've seen a little bit of that game, and if you took acid before you played it, you probably just...
Oh, no, I meant before we record.
Okay.
So I'll actually do a good job recording, as opposed to like tonight, where I'm like, Bugs Bunny. Blah, 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 blah. What the fuck was that about? Oh, I'm sorry for everyone listening. I promise. Tempest episode, nothing but butthole ripping jokes. Just write it on the wall.
Well, despite whatever you might think of this episode, we're still good people, and we appreciate 5-star reviews.
Questionable.
We're still morally ambiguous people.
we're still people. Maybe.
So if you want a little bit of control over the show and to help us out, please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Written is even better, and in that written review, you can leave a game for us to play. Mm-hmm. You can a guest host for any certain episode you want. You could leave your emergency contact information or an alibi, but not going to hold up very well. But
probably not.
At least those first two, we promise we will get to them eventually.
Don't worry, guys. We're going to be back, like Tyler said. In the meantime, you can always find us on TADPOG.com. That's where the show notes live. Who knows what's going to be up there this time? Probably we'll post a whole bunch of adventures. How about that? Just all kinds of adventures.
Just adventures.
The Adventures of Tintin. Who else had the adventures? Wasn't there like an Adventures of Superman? There wasn't there?
Yep.
The Adventures of
Lois and Clark.
They had their costumes at the Superman Museum that's across the river. You're gonna love it, Tyler. When we go, you're gonna love it. I promise. You can also find us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/tadpog. There are a lot of cool people there doing a lot of cool shit. I say usually, but it's every time we produce an episode, Tyler will make a post on Facebook, and we read all the comments that you leave there. So if you have suggestions, feel free to leave them there. That's cool. You can find us on Twitter. We are at @tadpog_podcast. It's cumbersome, I realize. Thank you for everyone on there who's retweeting us and generally talking to us. Twitter's kind of what I handle. Because Tyler, you don't know what Twitter is, right?
Mm-mm.
Right. Okay. I used to just do it while I was on the toilet, but I've kind of grown to actually like doing it. So now I don't just do it when I shit. Although I do appreciate it when everyone asks if I'm shitting. I like that a lot. It makes me feel good to know that you listen. You get me. Why was there not a toilet involved in either of our summoning rituals, by the way? I feel like you definitely like, because we both like a good shit, but like you love a good shit. Like if you were a god or a demigod, that would be in your portfolio.
One of my domains.
One of your domains is like toiletry.
I do go about 10 times a day every day.
It's like when you're not around, when like there's a party or something, or like we're playing D&D and you're not around, and like invariably someone will say, "Where's Tyler?" And the answer, someone will just say, "Probably shitting."
Our theme song?
Our theme song, Tyler, is Moves by Sycamore Drive.
Yeah.
And a link to that track can be found in the show notes at tadpog.com. I think that we should sign this one off as Drunk Josh.
Okay.
Just because of Two Dudes in a Nest, Michael's call.
Okay.
And we should probably do it. Since he listens at 1.5 times speed, we should either be drunk Josh really fast or drunk Josh really slow.
Drunk Josh really slow.
Okay.
Okay. So until next time. Capricorn.
Pretty good. That was a good show. Despite what I said earlier, Tyler, I've changed my mind. That was a really good one. Because apparently I was a little drunk. And he said something like, "Oh, you were watching videos by yourself because you're a loser?" And I was like, "The fuck?" And like I meant to send her a message today about it to be like, "Was that guy a fucking douchebag or what?"